Hello, everybody at Metasol, and thanks for inviting me. My name is Jeffrey Zerlin, and I'm a co-founder of Sky Mavis. We're the inventors of Axie Infinity. Axies are fantasy pets that you can battle and collect, but the key ingredient is that we've added blockchain technology to allow all the markets in our game to be controlled by players. We think that player-owned economies are going to be so important in introducing blockchain to the masses. And it's already starting to happen. Axie has done over $52 million in revenue, with a lot of that coming in just the last 11 days. We've traded over $350 million on our in-house NFT marketplace. And we've even seen eye-popping sales like these 9 land plots that sold for $1.5 million. Axie is an entire universe of games. Right now, you can battle your Axies and you can breed them to create more. But we're also working on a land-based game where you'll be able to build up a city or a town, harvest resources, form alliances, and fight over resources. We believe that economic freedom for gamers is going to create an entire new type of game. Games that are actually entire digital economies where people can live, work, and play. We see ourselves as nation builders. We're building both the virtual worlds of the future and the infrastructure that makes them possible. Our business model is quite different, and I think this is the key to why we've been able to succeed so far. Traditional mobile game developers, they make their games free to play. Oftentimes they'll sell things to the players. They'll sell resources, skins, game copies. Some people might think of it as quite extractive. It's a one-way street. At Axie Infinity, we've turned the model on its head. We open up the in-game economy through a couple of different ways. First, we give distribution rights to our players by allowing them to create and distribute the Axies required to play the game. So when new players come to buy Axies, they aren't buying them from us directly. They're buying them in a player-to-player transaction. Secondly, we believe that the player market is king. 95% of all the value flowing in our ecosystem actually goes directly to the player base. And this makes sense for us. The way that we monetize is that we simply take a 4.25% commission on all the trades happening within our ecosystem, as well as a fee each time an Axie is bred. This is an upcoming upgrade to the battle system. In the battle system, you play cards. Each card requires energy to use, and you can fight against other players, and you can also fight against monsters called Chimera. In order to start playing, you need 3 Axies, which, as I mentioned, you buy from other players. You can then download the game, and then you'll be able to start earning in-game resources by playing. The key thing is that these in-game resources are actually tokens with real value. For example, the Smooth Love Potion is the only way to create Axies. Each Axie requires both Smooth Love Potions and Axis tokens to be bred. And the only way to earn Smooth Love Potions is by playing the game. So this means that each Axie is really tokenized human effort. For the first time in history, we've been able to capture human effort in the form of a game asset. This has created an entire new movement, an entire new type of game. People are calling it play to earn. How does it work? So by playing the game, you're earning tokens, both tokens from the Axie ecosystem, as well as sometimes tokens from partnered ecosystems where they're looking to, different projects will distribute tokens to Axie players through our game because they want to reach a really strong community. These tokens can then be sold on exchanges like Binance or Uniswap for cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, which you can then turn into fiat, which you can use to pay your bills. This has made Axie far more than a game. This is a still from a documentary called Play to Earn. I really suggest each and every one of you to go and watch this. This couple, they're not like your average blockchain user, but during the pandemic, they found Axie and it's helped them so much. They own a store, and during the pandemic, foot traffic has gone almost to zero. While they're manning the store, waiting for customers to return, they're able to play Axie. And because they're able to earn tokens with real value that they can exchange for Filipino pesos, it's been a huge help for them in the pandemic, paying for medicine and basic goods. A lot of people focus on the economic aspect of Axie. That is the thing that is most obviously new. But I think it's important to recognize that over 50% of our players prefer either the community or the gameplay to the economy. Some people are also coming into the ecosystem because they see it as an interesting way to trade capital for prestige and status. This is a Mystic Axie that sold for 300 ETH, which is now more than $500,000. It can be used as an avatar on Twitter or Discord, and in the future, may be a really awesome thing to upgrade. These Mystic Axies, you can think of them kind of as in a similar way to first edition Pokemon cards, except that each one of them is unique. And they've sold for tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's special behaviors like this that have made Axie Infinity this week the top revenue generating application in all of crypto. In fact, it's not just beating applications, it's also beating all of the blockchains. Axie generated $35.8 million this week, which is more than 7 times what Bitcoin generated. And it's even more than what Ethereum generated. So clearly something amazing is happening. How did things spike so quickly? You may have just heard about Axie for the first time in the last couple of months. That's actually when most of the world find out about us. But actually, we've been building since 2018, right? You can't even see the numbers here, but you can see that something was happening. These were golden days where we had a community. We were building during the bear market when people weren't chasing profits. It wasn't all about the money. It was really about doing something fun and interesting. And we built and we built, and eventually we deployed many upgrades to our system, continuously upgrading it. The big upgrade that made the last couple of months happen was the deployment of Ronin. So Ronin is our custom scaling solution built specifically for Axie and NFT games. It allows people to use blockchain games in a really easy and fast manner. On Ethereum, life was really difficult in many ways because there are things called gas fees. Gas fees can be expensive. Ethereum is also slow. It was pretty stressful and it was quite difficult to play Axie back then. So what we've done is we created a scaling solution to reduce or eliminate gas fees, make things quick. And that is actually what caused this huge spike in traction. You can see that also our DAU has been growing hundreds of percent each month since April. People stay within our ecosystem. They see it as a social network, a place to make friends, but also a form of work in many cases. This means that when compared to the traditional mobile gaming mobile games, Axie is doing stellar retention numbers. But Axie isn't just about the numbers. It's a community of artists, developers, competitors, and even people who have taken the lifelong pledge of getting an Axie tattoo. This is an amazing new trend from the Philippines where people are even making Axie birthday cakes for their loved ones. But Axie is still small. We're growing, but we still have a far road before we go mainstream. So how do we do that? First, we need to make the gameplay more dynamic, engaging. We're adding free to play. Right now, it's so expensive to get started with Axie. So we'll be adding a free to play mode where people can get started with starter Axies and learn how to play the game, fall in love with the universe without having to make any huge economic decisions. We'll also be upgrading the art and the animations. And we'll be allowing you to upgrade your Axies so that you can form an even closer bond with them. There have been some really amazing developments in the Axie universe where we've even seen different organizations start to build on top of Axie. There's an organization called Yield Guild, which is basically a metaverse employment organization where, because Axies are so expensive, something called a scholarship has been created where people will lend out their Axies to people who cannot afford Axies but really want to play the game and the opportunities that it brings. You even see people signing employment contracts and applying with resumes. So we've gone through a long 4-year journey. We've learned about all the problems. We learned about the solutions, right? You need to have, right now, a fun game to attract a community, but also the right infrastructure, as well as a distribution channel. So in the future, we believe that we can actually become an entire ecosystem, a launch pad for new games, new NFT games that want to use proven technology as well as access a community that has proven to be super special. So this is Ronin. Ronin is an Ethereum sidechain. It uses a bridge. This bridge contract is basically where people can deposit their assets onto Ronin. Once they're on Ronin, they can breed, list Axies, all these things that were formerly expensive on Ethereum can now be done quite easily and smoothly on Ronin. This bridge contract, by the way, is often the most used contract, smart contract on Ethereum. So yeah, thank you for having me. In conclusion, or to summarize, Axie is a digital nation. It's not just a game, it's a place for you to live your life, make friends, and perhaps even earn a living. Right now, we're growing really quickly, but there's still a lot of amazing things that we will be deploying in the coming year that will take us to an entirely new level of adoption. And we hope that you will join our community and that you will wish us luck for the coming revolution. Thank you.